is not Mr. Trump's creation. G20, of course, the Americans played an important role in the creation of the G20 after the the Asian financial crisis. When then it was purely the finance ministers and governors of central banks when they created the G20, and only after 2008 when they introduced the summits. So, in that sense, South Africa is a member of the co-founders of the G20 and will remain a member of the G20. The Americans cannot take us out of the G20. What they can do, because of their presence, they won't accredit us. That's what they have not done. That's what they have done. They are not accrediting us into those meetings. We've taken that cool and said 2026 for us is just a holiday for G20. We'll go back in 2027.
But is the other issue here also the fact that, of course, South Africa is in BRICS, right? Many people see that as a direct challenge to the West. That's a key concern for this administration.
No, okay, BRICS is not a new formation during the Trump administration. We've interacted with the American administration. I don't know for how long. We've been for years since we've been members of BRICS. BRICS is kind of a multinational institution whose main objective is not an anti-anybody, but is a formation whose main concern is to how to advance the interests of the global South.
So how do you resolve this?
I think it's going to resolve itself, because even within the G20, within the BRICS nation, I don't think Mr. Trump's main issue is us, is the Russians and the Chinese, and I kind of get a flag by association in a sense, because we're a small country, we've got no impact on anybody else, and we appreciate that.
You mentioned the Russian and the Chinese. South Africa is also conducting military drills with Iran, Russia, and the Chinese. Doesn't that risk angering this president?
Let me just take Iran aside. South Africa conducts drills with the Americans. South Africa conducts drills with the Russians, conducts with the Chinese. That has been a practice in the past, except that the Americans have recently refused to conduct drills with us, which we accept. So we have done these drills for years with all of these countries. That's the first point I want to make, which has got nothing to do. Of course, if you ask me, should we not have been careful in the context of the Russia-Ukraine war and in line with our position of non-alignment? And I would argue that we should have been, with the benefit of hindsight, we should have been in the context of our, not for the American position, but for our own position of non-alignment. I think it's something we should have been cautious about.
So you can see the issue here, though. South Africa doing these military drills with Iran, Russia, and the Chinese.
Just Iran was not part. Iran was invited by one of the parties.
Iran was invited. Then at the same time,
Then at the
same time as well, you're inside BRICS.
We stopped them from
and you've been kicked out of the G20.
We stopped them from drilling, I'm telling you. Iran then became an observer because they were not invited by us.
Even so, that would still anger the president.
I know. That would the point is, all I'm saying, that would still be anger, not only the president of the USA, but the West in general. Their relationship with Iran is not that good. We accept that.
I absolutely accept that. So one of the other issues here is, of course, tariffs, which we haven't spoken about. What efforts is the government making to try and ensure that it isn't hit hard by more Trump tariffs as a result of what we've been discussing?
There are a couple of issues. We have the AGOA relationship with the Americans. Discussions are taking place to continue the extension of AGOA, and with that extension, with South Africa remaining party to it. That's one part of the equation. The second part of the equation is the unilateral stance the Americans have taken of having bilateral negotiations on trade. And I've made reference to that we have also taken an opportunity to deal with that. And discussions are taking place even in both end of next week and the beginning of February. Our trade people and the USA trade people will be meeting.
And you're confident that you can reduce or cut those tariffs?
I think They've made an offer which is quite good, except with some minor problems. And that offer, which may probably, I'm not at liberty to divulge the details, but I think the offer on the table provides us with something to negotiate on.